When I met you, you were 19 years old and I was 21. First of all, you lied to me your age. The way that we go back and look at the hardship that we went through, right now I don't look at it as a hardship anymore. I look at it as lessons. I came to Canada. There was a lot of cultural, financial, how do we start problems that brought us a lot of blockages, negativity, fighting, finding jobs. It was hard.
What does it take for somebody to become spiritual?
Only two vibrations that is inside human being. The highest is love and the lowest is the way that some religions introduce God to people, that either you follow these rules that is written in this book, you go to heaven, otherwise you're gonna go to hell. Inside me, I didn't really want to do it.
Being married for 30 years, we had ups and downs, 100%. What advice would you have for younger generation and younger self, Paige?
Not to waste your time.
God only language is silence. All else is a poor translation. Anything in life you want to have is because you want to have it, because you think by obtaining it, you're going to become happier. But the key is, ladies and gentlemen, today I have a very, very special guest. Before you need to know this, that we wanted to start this podcast, Path to Limitless. And the whole intention and the core message that we wanted to have, and everybody allows everybody to listen and watch this, is to inspire people, elevate consciousness through spirituality, and integrating that into your success in life, as we have. But today, I have a super special guest. Is somebody that I known for quite a long time. And I'm proud and honored to call her my spiritual partner. I'm proud to call her the love of my life. And I'm proud to known her through this journey of 30 years. And I've learned so much from her. And I know you will do the same, because she's just pure love, pure light into this world. And as I have seen it, you will see the same. I hope you enjoy this conversation. I want to ask my beautiful guest, who is Paige Torkan, my beautiful wife, and some questions, hopefully, and dig deep and bring her spirituality out. And she has so much wisdom, okay? But I want her to share it. I want everybody to see it and everybody get inspired by this. And this is the only thing that is in our agenda and mind, and what we want to give back to the world is a service. And hopefully you will enjoy the same conversation. Let's have a amazing convo with my beautiful, beautiful wife. Thank you, Paige, for coming today.
Oh my God, what an intro.
To Limitless podcast, baby, which you're the co-host, actually, but I had to intro you because...
so I'm your first guest.
You're my first guest. You are the love of my life. You are somebody that I look up to constantly and ask a lot of questions, and I run everything by you all the time to make sure that we are in the right path, whether it's in business, whether it's in our household, with the kids, with all the stuff that we deal with daily in life. You're somebody that I confide in, I listen to, and sometimes I might not listen to, but you try to at least tell me in your own calmness and spirituality and love, the way that you deal with me and the kids. It's super valuable. So the first question I wanted to ask you is this. So I know you for a long time, okay? And I know your personality has evolved, so is mine, right? We grew up together. We've known each other since 19, 20 years old, right? And being married for 30 years, we had ups and downs, 100%. But I wanted for the audience to know who is truly Paige Torkan, okay? where do you come from? What is your core beliefs? And then I want you to go into what happened with the spirituality. When did you awaken to the spirituality life? And what is it that you do every day to better yourself and connect yourself to the source, the creator, God, whatever you want to call it. You call it God, I call it source. So it's the same thing. But I want you to take the audience and me to the journey, and perhaps tell me the stuff that I don't know about. I'd like to hear it from you. It's going to be hard for me not to know you, but I'd love to hear something new. So let's see. Tell me.
Oh, wow. That's deep. A lot of questions.
So let's start
Basically, you
where do
asked
we
everything
start?
in.
How did you start? You want to go even back home to your childhood? You want to shed some light, people that don't know?
Yeah, I
Tell
was
me.
born in Tehran, Iran. And I was born in a very traditional family. Religious, not like fanatic wise, but pretty much religious family, and very disciplined. As long as I remember, as soon as I remembered who I am, I was always under a lot of pressure and discipline and following family rules, religion, and then moving forward. When I met you, I was already in my heart, in my core, believed in the higher power. And I had a lot of questions always about God, source. In my core belief, I knew that the stuff that I was taught by the my religion wasn't 100% true.
Mm-hmm.
The way that some religions introduce God to people, that God is someone sitting up there, and either you follow these rules that is written in this book, you go to heaven, otherwise God is going to punish you. You're going to go to hell.
Yeah.
I knew that's not it, but I always knew my inner being that is connected to a higher power. And I always had this relationship and had questions, talked to God. When I met you, you were 19 years old and I was 21. First of all, you lied to me your age. You asked me. You asked me how.
Oh, so you're really going in there. You're going to go there. Okay, go
you
ahead.
Asked me how old are you? I said 21, and I said, how old are you? You said 21.
Yeah. I couldn't say I'm younger because if I did, then you would not date me back then.
Yes, that's kind of true. But when I found out, I was very upset for a couple of hours. And then I'm like, okay, doesn't make that much of a difference.
You want to tell the audience how we met through back home?
I just want to continue the path of my spirituality. The thing that you told about me, which thank you. You said I'm light and all of that, but a lot of it came from you to me, actually. When I met you, I was so surprised that a 19-year-old boy is talking to me about God and spirituality and praying. You're the one that told me, I remember you said, wake up every morning before the sunrise and make sure that you watch the sunrise and say this affirmation. And I was like, yeah, that makes more sense to me.
I remember.
Than the way that I was brought up with a very rough religion that, oh, heaven, hell. It resonated with me. And I was like, wow, this person, this 19-year-old, you were the light in my life that time. And we resonated from day one that we met. And ever since we started this path 30 years ago together and learning every day, like you said, we're going through Your question is going to take forever.
I want you to
So
talk about it.
I'm going,
Tell me whatever
like,
you're telling me. That's okay. I want to hear it. Please go ahead.
yeah, like you want me to go how we came to Canada, all of
All of
that
it.
stuff.
So,
Yeah.
no, don't hold back. Say whatever you think it comes to you from your heart. Say it. That's okay.
So
But look at it, people unfortunately judge us at this stage of our life, especially because of social media, the success, the business, the brokerage, the agents that we work together, all of these, the show that we did on Amazon Prime, all of this stuff. Everybody judge us because of those reasons. But truly, through the core of us, we know who we are, right? So I want you to talk about the challenges we had. Where did we came from? Where did we live? And say it, baby. It's if you think it's the right thing, say it. It's okay, because all of us start from somewhere at the bottom.
first of all, I
right?
don't care what people think and what they say about us or judge us, because I know every morning when I wake up, I pray. The first thing that I say, you know, God, think, speak, and act through me. And I do my best. And I know that for sure. So people can say anything they want to say or judge however they want to judge us, as long as we know that we are connected to the source and we're channeling through the source, whether it's in our relationship together, our relationship with our kids, and the business that we started together, which, you know, that's another chapter that we can talk about. But, you know, people can see through their eyes and judge us
We
through
can't
their
control
mind,
anybody. That's
and we
okay.
can't control that.
That's right.
What we can control is this. I can't even control you. You always say that I've changed you and you listen to me. That's actually not true. We are not here to change each other. Like you said, we're spiritual partners. So I say these things to you. And if it's the truth and you believe that, the truth, that the energy of the world and the truth in that energy is the thing that resonates with you.
Correct.
And changes you.
That's right.
You are the one that change yourself.
Nobody will change if they don't want to change.
Exactly.
That's a given. Right?
Exactly.
So unless you want something in yourself to be changed, then you find a path or you listen to something that would resonate and you elevate your consciousness and you elevate your vibration. But go back to the 19-year-old and 20-year-old we were together. Okay, just remind me what sort of a spirituality things was I practicing? What was I telling you to do? I think I had a very limited understanding back then, but I was grown up
We
in
both
that world.
we both had
but I
limited
wanted to see what
understanding
happened.
exactly about spirituality and God and the whole thing about creation. But it's, you know, we both had the basic belief in us, and I think the universe brought us together to inspire each other, and you inspired me. Like I said, telling me to look at the sunrise and say these things.
I remember I
yeah.
was giving you mantras to meditate. Remember, because I was
Yeah.
doing the same thing. I was telling you to do the same. You remember that?
Yeah. So originally, I was born in, I don't really believe in religion. I do believe that it's the way that you perceive from the religion and you bring out of it in your personal life. It could be good, and it has been good for a lot of people. But unfortunately, some changed it to their benefit and switched it around. So that part, I don't believe that creates war and, you know, divine people. But in my childhood and the religious that I was brought up, I was told that I had to pray 5 times and just stand, cover my hair, and say certain words. And that's my relationship with God 5 times a day, and
That's
then
it.
the rest of it,
Do whatever the
go.
hell you want to do. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And inside me, I didn't really want to do it. Like, what is this? It's fake. It could be good, like meditation, and you do it alongside other things. But when you told me, even when because I remember I was going to university when I met you, and you said even when you're in the bus going to university, just say these words, which was "I am who I am" in English, and I was like, "What does that mean?"
The breathing techniques also.
Yeah, the
Remember,
breathing,
inhale,
I
exhale
am.
longer.
And I'm like, what does that mean? And you said, no, it's just you bring your focus inside and you focus on breathing, then you connect. Didn't really understand what I did, and it felt good. So it felt better than just certain times of the day, stand in front of Mecca and say only these words. I'm like, yeah, God is everywhere. I believe that is everywhere and within me, everywhere that I go, and I want to have the connection with God. So I started that. So it was, like I said, amazing that a 19-year-old boy, instead of like we go to parties, first of all, we were both never into partying.
That's right.
Going to clubs or that kind of lifestyle, which also really resonated with me and made us closer because we had the same ideas about life. Fast forward, because of the situations and the circumstances in Iran, that a lot of like young generation were under a lot of pressure. Back in the day, especially boys, military was mandatory, still is mandatory. So you told me 2 months after we met that you have to leave the country. And I was like, what? He said, yeah, but this is not the end of our journey. I want to marry you. And I started laughing because you were 19 and I was 21. You said, I go, babe, I go. And I
know what I want.
create a life somewhere that there is more opportunities for our future. And I wasn't even thinking about future. You said, no, this is not the end. I'm going to go. We're going to stay in touch. And once everything's settled, your father still back in the day that you told me was living in Amsterdam. You said, I'm going to Amsterdam, see how everything is, because if I stay here, I have to go to army, and I don't want to go to army, and there's not a lot of opportunities to raise a family in Iran. And I had no intention of leaving the country. But I said, okay.
I remember.
Like always, anything that you want to do, even to now, I always
You're the
try
biggest
to back
cheerleader of
you
my
up.
life, baby. I know that, and I
Yeah.
appreciate that. I appreciate you. You're the biggest cheerleader, and you've always been supportive
It's
of
really
every
hard for
crazy
me.
stuff that I want to do, which is
Really,
most of them
really
are crazy.
hard for me that you're going me to the back. You know why?
Yeah.
My personality, and especially through this journey of spirituality, is not going to the past. I'm not a past person. I don't really keep memories and pictures from the past, and going into especially the rough times that I had, I've forgotten them. And I always look at now. And
That's a
now
beautiful way.
that brings the future. Like our past ups and downs were beautiful, but you want to take me to the past? I don't really.
No, but I want everybody to understand
yeah.
where the base is from,
That's
where
why I
you
want
come
to
from,
just
and all of
say
that
it quickly.
stuff. Yeah. So
Yeah.
look, I totally understand. You don't want to open up to 30 years of history
There's
after
nothing
coming
wrong
here.
with that. A lot
There's
of
nothing
people
wrong with
come on
that.
podcasts and they talk about, they go deep,
Their hardship and all of that
hardship.
stuff. Yeah.
It's not my personality. I don't really want to, I think that it brings negativity into me, like the lower vibration. I don't really want to talk about
So,
the
but you were
rough,
not always
yeah.
like this. But what I want to know, when was the start of you thinking this way, and what changed in your mind that made a complete switch into being meditative in the mornings? And take me through that journey. What happened? I want to know, in your eyes, how did that come about that you did all of a sudden switch? Because look, there were times that we lived together. I know we were going in the past. We were going into looking at problems, and when it was a problem that came either in the business or family or whatever it
Yeah.
was, that we, for days, our minds were constantly trying to tackle this thing and tackle it to the ground and fix it and go to emotional journey of roller coasters and up and down in emotions. So we had those ups and downs, but at some point, I believe you and we both decided to, okay, this is the cut. We're not going to do this anymore, and gradually worked on ourselves. So tell me when that was for you, what moment it was that you had that triggered, that all of a sudden, that aha moment. Yeah, you know what? I don't want to do this. I don't want to live in the past. I don't want to think about the hardships. When was that moment, and how did you translate, and how did you transfer your mind into being more present, and rather than going back and forth, because our mind goes to the past and the future, past, future, and we cannot be centered all the time. When was that moment for you? Tell me.
So when you left the country, went to Norway, and Norway is where my brothers left for the same reason, because they didn't want to go to army, so they went to Norway back in the days. But you went to Netherlands, and then from there you came to Canada. Fast forward, we did the paperwork. I came to Canada. It was hard. It was very, very hard. I think I was 22. You were
21.
You were 20. I was 22 when I came to Canada. Yes, it was really hard for me, especially living for 22 years, the whole time with my family. I wasn't even allowed to travel. So it was the very first time I left my family and came to Canada in a different continent, different culture. And truthfully, I didn't really know you. Like we were together
a very short time.
Very short time.
Right.
You left, and we kept contact through letters, actual written letters.
Remember.
I have those I kept.
Yes.
It's beautiful. Because there was no email, there was no cell phone, nothing, no internet.
I used to write your poems.
So, and another funny thing is, when you left, everybody, all my close friends, my cousins, I have a couple of cousins that were same age. They're like, oh, forget it. He's gone. He's gone to Netherlands. He's going to see all those beautiful Dutch girls. Forget about him. Don't invest on him. Inside, I knew that there's a future for us. So fast forward, when I came to Canada, I came with 3 suitcases and nothing else. And you were new in Canada.
Myself,
too for 1 year.
1 year, yeah.
So there was a lot of cultural, financial, how do we start problems. I think that for a few years, that's where we lost spirituality. Still believed in God, source. I still prayed, God, please help us. But that was it. And then going deep into the problem, solutions, how do we build our lives from scratch? And that brought us a lot of blockages, negativities, fighting, finding jobs, and it was hard. It was really, really hard. And I couldn't talk to anybody. It was a secret in my heart because I didn't want to tell my mom, my dad. If I had told them what I was going through, because I was brought up in a comfortable family. My dad, we lived a comfortable, like financially comfortable life. And I had to lie to my parents that, oh, you had a great job. Forget about like how they're like, what? You're going to get married with somebody that we don't know, especially for them being that traditional, the dreams they had for us, how to get married and all of that stuff. For me, how to get married. So it was a lot of fight. And when I got to you and came to Canada, it was me backing up all the lies and all the things that I told my parents. So there was no way for me to say that, oh, I have to work in coffee shops. Especially back in the day, girls didn't work and they stayed in parents' house until they get married comfortably, and then they go to their husband's house when there is also everything is especially in in the way that I was brought up. So I couldn't say anything. And then I had to get to know you too, because we didn't really date for a long time or live together before that. It was really hard. It was really, really hard. What else do you want me to say? So how you really took me back.
Yeah, I know. So look, there's no secret. We talked about this. We both worked in. I washed dishes. I pumped gas.
Yes.
You were in a coffee shop, working for $5-6 an hour back then, because that was the normal, average pay that everybody would get. And sometimes we had to work cash. Those are the stuff.
That's okay.
And everybody wanted
to get a place,
a place together. And there's no secret about any of that stuff, right?
No.
So, and it's to those, I believe, I don't call it hardship. Okay, I call it life experiences.
Not anymore.
So the life experiences that we had together is made us to who we are today. Okay,
exactly.
Because if wherever we are today, our humility, because we know where we started, right? We know where we actually cooked pizza or washed dishes in a restaurant, or you were serving at country style, by example, in
country style
cashier. You remember
There's
that?
no more country style.
And I was scared for you because you were working on midnight to morning shift. I had to sleep in a Pontiac car that we bought for $200, and it was rusted everywhere. It was a hole in the ground. Remember that? There was a ugly brown Pontiac Sunfire. I will never forget.
No,
it was
but
rusted
I
on the
was
floor.
so excited about that car because we didn't have
At least we didn't have to take the bus.
the bus in cold weather. Yeah.
So we couldn't afford insurance, but we had to buy. So look, these are the stuff that allows us today to have values for what we have created in business, in success, and when we don't take anything for granted. That's number one. And what do we transfer to our kids, which our kids are 19 and 21 now, is those same values, right? So our kids, by example, me and you, we always talk and say, no, okay, you want a car? Sure, we'll get you the car. We'll give you that convenience of you going from, to job, to work, and A to B, but you're paying for your own insurance.
Yes.
You work for it, you pay for your own gas. If you get a ticket, you have to pay for it. It's not the matter of you giving them everything on a silver platter. This way, otherwise they won't value anything in life either. So those beginning of our life that we had to build and fight and brick by brick, as you put it before, on top of each other, allows us to sit where we are today. And we don't have to. We don't want to tell everybody what we do and where we are. But that's all the successes, all the achievements, all of that stuff is for us. We've never done anything, me and you, for external people to see and say, hey, look how successful. There was never a case, like, didn't even phase us whatsoever. Even the show that we did, me and you, our intention was very different. We didn't want to become famous. We could care less to become famous whatsoever. Our job was to serve, help others, and bring people to our experience and around us and elevate us, right? So that was the whole thing that our intention was. But I want to go back to my question. I don't want you to go back all the way. I know you talked about it a little bit, and we could next episodes on all the upper episode. If anybody wants to hear those stuff, we could talk about it. But look, like everybody else, life happens, and you need to fight and have a vision, have a dream where you want to get to, and you just strive for it, right? So that's what we did. But I want to know when. This is the question. When was it that the spirituality truly kicked in for you? Because there was a moment for me, and I know it was a moment for you, okay? That those spirituality...
I think it was the same moment for both of us.
It was the same moment.
Yeah,
correct.
We were walking
I want to take you to that moment. What happened? Why did it happen? Okay? And how has it changed your life outlook? How do you look at life today, and what was the catalyst for you to switch to the mentalities that you have today? So am I, and I want to go to that moment. Tell me what happened exactly.
So the way that we go back and look at the hardship that we went through, right now I don't look at it as a hardship anymore. I look at it as lessons, lessons that made us who we are. And so now in this spirituality path, we both know that there is only two vibration that is inside human beings. There's different vibrations, but the highest is love and the lowest is fear. I think there was a moment in my life that I didn't want to live in fear anymore. Fear, doubt, all of those lower vibration. Yeah. That a lot of people, live with that vibration, and it's very normal. Every day.
Yep.
And I think I was tired of it. Every day dealing with that fear inside me. And
what were your fears? What were some of your fears? What was your fears? Was it the kids? What was your fears?
A lot of things that I think fear starts from you want to have control over everything, your financial situation, your family, your kids' health, physically, mentally. You want to make sure, I wanted to make sure everything's okay, but you can't have control over all of that, right? So you're going to be unsuccessful. And that brings you a lot of doubt and fear. And you're constantly trying so hard to change circumstances, making sure everybody's happy, your kids are happy, everything goes smoothly, the financial situation is up there under control. And again, and not having the true faith in the higher power, that you need to have control over this, and the rest of it, surrender. So that's something I didn't know. And I was just tired of it. Then COVID happened. And COVID, for a lot of people, including us, was doubt, fear, uncertainty. Again, all these lower vibration. So like everybody else, I remember we wake up every morning, first thing, TV, the news. Oh, how many cases today? Oh my God. Brought us more fear, more doubt, more uncertainty. I was tired of it. I'm like, I don't want to listen to it anymore. Let's stop. And then somehow we went on YouTube and we started listening to like nice music, meditation. I think we didn't have the plan for it. It just came to us.
Right.
It just came to us. And then we went for a walk to get some fresh air
Yeah.
during COVID. And then I told you, I'm tired of it. Let's just think positive from now on. Anytime that uncertainty, negativity, because that's when we started the agency too at the same time. So there was a
Right
lot.
smack beginning of COVID.
When we brought the agency from California to Toronto, we were the first that brought the agency to Toronto. So that was a lot of like pressure on us in the middle of COVID. So struggle. I'm like, it's not getting us anywhere. Let's try it. Let's try the things that we are hearing from Joe Dispenza, Deepak Chopra.
I remember, the start of us getting to this path was Dr. Wayne Dyer.
Yes.
I think that was the start of the whole path for us because we came
God bless his soul.
We clicked on a video, Dr. Wayne Dyer started talking, and then, what is he saying? What is he talking about? So we started listening to Dr. Wayne Dyer. We pretty much watched everything that there was on YouTube that we could find from Dr. Wayne Dyer. Then it became next. He became Abraham Hicks. Then he became, who the hell is Abraham Hicks? There is somebody called Esther, and it's a she, and she's calling herself Abraham. He's calling herself a guy. What the hell is that about? So we started listening to Abraham Hicks, and one thing just snowballed to Dr. Joseph
And then we read the book,
which one?
The Science of Getting Rich.
The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles.
Yeah.
So everybody can go and check that out because it's an incredible book. And it's audio. It's about an hour and a half. It's one of the
very
best
short,
books
but oh my God,
out
yeah.
there. Yeah, it's published 1910. And it's one of the best books out there. I recommend to everybody go and get that.
So that's the start of it. We opened ourselves.
But hold on a second. I have a question for you. By listening to a spirituality, okay, doesn't mean that you all of a sudden become a spiritual person because you just listen to a couple of podcasts, okay, or a couple of YouTube videos, right? So what does it take for somebody to become spiritual? Okay, I'm not talking about in a sense of spirituality in a woo-woo sense. I'm talking about in truly transforming your body and mind and coherent between your body and mind and how to live a true worthiness life. Because what we've been finding is most difficulties for people out there is they don't find themselves worthy people to be successful in life, have a lot of money, or find the love of their life, having a great relationship. Is they don't feel that worthiness, right? And comes back to you, what you said, it comes from fear, which is the lowest vibration, right? But for us, we listen to it, but what do we do? What do we decide to do in order for us to get to this transition of truly having actual practices for ourselves? What do we do?
First of all, there's no start, there's no end. We are all here as these souls in these temporary physical bodies.
Correct.
And I believe that we go back, we come back. So there's no start, no end. I don't know how it started. Like we say that that's the time that it started for us, but we had it. Like we have that in us.
The connection to source is never lost. Correct.
Yeah.
But there's a lot
Either
of
you know
resistances
it,
and
or you
stuff
block
built
it.
on it. Correct.
Exactly. And it never ends because it's everyday work. It's everyday learning, evolving, and growing.
Yes.
And we were talking to each other on the way here, and I asked you this question. I said, what do you want to get from this podcast? Because we've been talking about it and for a few weeks. And I said, I back you up, go for it. But
another crazy idea.
Yeah, another crazy idea. But babe, we don't have
with the time that we don't have. Okay, good.
With the time that we're trying to manage all the things that we're doing, with the agency and 70 some agents and our daughters, our family,
And multiple different businesses that we
expansion,
have going
yes,
on. Yeah.
different kind of businesses that you're doing, and then on top of it, podcasts, because we listen to a lot of podcasts, but
Yes.
having our own podcast is a different story. So I said, I want to know, I know you and I know your intention, but I just wanted to talk to you about it, that what is the core
What was
of,
my answer?
and you said, just share our path and elevate. Maybe we can inspire one or two people, and that's it. We do that. And through that, also, we're going to hopefully invite people to our podcast that they can also share their stories, and we learn from it too,
Correct.
selfishly.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to get in
Yeah.
behind the driver's seat instead of, watching the car passing by all the time, right? So when you get in the driver's seat and you hear these things from people, which we have learned a lot, but we already have exercised ourselves a lot of these practices and the guidance that all these spiritual leaders put out there. Some of them are doctors, scientists, and we have studied most of them, both of us. We listened, we learned, we put practices into places, and that is the intention for us to start this podcast. And I said that on the way over here. I said to you, I said, listen, Pan, I think there's 8 billion plus people in this planet right now.
Yes.
And out of these 8 billion people, perhaps there is few million that are awakened, okay, to the actual spirituality, not religious. I don't want anybody to confuse religion and spirituality.
They're connected to the source.
They're very different paths. There's just not something that, because religious says that God is somewhere up sitting in the sky, and if you do sins, you're going to go down below in the hell. There is no such a thing. Okay, heaven and hell is right here, right now, at this moment. Okay, and that's what somebody creates in their own mind. You can create a heaven in your mind right now, or you can create a hell for yourself right now. It's either case, it's happening now. Okay, so we don't believe in that. The spirituality and the intention of this podcast for me and you is to elevate consciousness. Okay, get more people connected to truly who they are. If somebody wakes up for the past few years and asks themselves, "Who am I? Who am I?" Ask yourself that question. When you keep asking yourself that question, you don't need to search for the answer. The answer will come. You're going to get connected, okay? So the practices that me and you did, the first thing we did, what did we do? For meditation, by example, right? So what did we, as a routine, me and you changed, shed some light on that, see what have we changed into practices that audience can take away and say, hey, these are the practices that they can integrate to themselves and perhaps have a better life, of meaningful life for themselves living. Okay, not for others, not for other things, not for material, not for all of that stuff. There's nothing wrong with having a lot of money and having beautiful home, bigger
not.
house, better cars, and all of
Absolutely
that.
not.
Certainly,
Yeah.
we live that way. But what I want to know, but the wealth is very different for everybody, right? There is several different type of wealth in the world. There is money. There is the abundance of health. There is wealth of. There is
In
a lot
every
of different. In
aspect
every
of your
aspect, you can
life,
be
you
wealthy.
deserve to be
Correct.
abundant. Yes.
So tell me, when was that, and how did we change the routine in ourselves in order to get rid of the resistances that we created within ourselves, all of us in 8 billion people, and how did we do that? Tell me a little bit about that.
So when you ask me what is your spirituality path, I don't have a very clear path. Yes, I do have actually a clear path, and that is just every day try to get closer and closer to the source. And we're listening to so many different things, and whatever resonates with me, I imply it to my life. I'm not a yogist. I'm not I don't follow necessarily Kabbalah, but I'm listening to all of these because for this period of our lives, we don't have time and we don't have the intention to go to climb the mountain or go to this India to this retreat. Those are good things, but not necessarily you do that and you're spiritual. You can walk, you can talk, you can eat and breathe spirituality. And for me, it's love and getting connected to the source.
Correct.
My intention in life is we are one with the source, but we are in this physical body. That's why we have limitations, to unblock those limitations and truly, truly become one with the source. And whatever tool that we can use, one of them for me, for both of us, is meditation. That's how we start our day. That's one good thing that we learned through this journey, to plug yourself first thing in the morning when you wake up, rather than that's what we did. We used to wake up, grab our phone.
That's right.
Go,
emails, texts, calls, missed calls.
And we're like,
problems.
we want to be productive, have a productive day. So first thing is check your email. That is the worst. You want to fill up your tank first. Like the coffee that we drink in the morning, give your soul that coffee, that energy, that boost.
Yes.
Gas yourself up. And for us, starts with meditation, because subconsciously in our mind, there's a lot of things that became habits. And to undo those habits, we need to go into silence, clear our mind, and one way is the meditation.
So one of the things that I'm touching on silence is, Rumi is my favorite poet.
Yes.
And I absolutely love him. And my background from childhood, we were into Sufism, which is the followers of Rumi.
Yes.
And I used to read a lot of Rumis when I was young, and I still do. And I just love his poems, that it just resonates with me a lot. So one of the poems is he says, God only language is silence. All else is a poor translation. So that's exactly what we do, because people think when you meditate, there has to be some sort of an outcome they want to get out of meditation. There is no outcome. The only outcome is for you to stop thinking. And the God only language is silence. And so he's the beat between the notes, and if everybody understands that, then they can connect themselves. So go back to plugging yourself in. Go ahead, continue.
So that's one way that we plug in.
Meditation. So first thing we wake up, we don't we don't get out of the bed before meditating for 15-20 minutes, and then we start our day. Correct?
Yeah. So then I start with thank you.
Yes.
Like as I go brush my teeth and get ready to go to the office, I just go through, because also gratitude is just love is the highest vibration. And source, God, whatever you want to call it, doesn't need us to say thank you. It's for us to take us to that higher vibration, and we truly see ourselves, oh my God, because we are pure love. That's who we are. And God really, really is in every cell of our body and loves us.
Yes.
So when we connect to that and we say, thank you for my breath, thank you for another day, thank you for this.
These are some of the affirmations. Give me some of them. What do you say?
It's thousands of them. Thank you for everything. Sometimes I go through my body and things that we take granted for in life. Thank you for my toes. Thank you for my feet. Thank you for my ankle. Thank you for my knees. Oh my God. Or I say, thank you for my husband. Thank you for my soulmate. Thank you for my daughters sleeping in their beds. And then automatically, like, you're happy.
Your vibration gets higher, right?
It's higher rather than all these negativities
Correct.
that we are surrounded by And I don't have to say, we all know
So
in
one of the
today's
also
world.
practices like me and you do that this whole spirituality path have taught us is a reaction time to problems. Because problems, you know, and I know it comes at everybody in life. Everybody will have at some point either they're going to have a humongous storm or any sort of a little or big, doesn't matter. Life comes at you that day, right? How do you handle those problems, and what does spirituality teach you in your reaction time to those problems? Does it make a difference?
So people think that you're on your spirituality path, so you're not supposed to get sad, or you're not supposed to get angry or have reactions. I don't think even Jesus was perfect. Sorry. We are not perfect. We are evolving as long as we realize that this is our job to evolve. So when you recognize that, you get in your car, especially here in Toronto, the weather, oh my God, everybody's talking about the weather. Oh my God, look at the weather,
Complaining.
traffic, somebody like cut you off. It's,
You,
again, you can't control any of those. What you
yeah.
can control is this.
Yep.
Of course, I get upset if somebody's rude to me or cut in front of me or being not nice to me. But how long I stay in that low vibration and I'm aware of it, and how I transform. So you still get angry, but how you transform that from that anger, that is the difference. So my staying in those, especially, running a business with 70 agents and things come at you, how you deal with that, the spirituality has helped us a lot.
Correct.
To just have a more peaceful life and look at the challenges very differently.
So you're absolutely right. So one thing is, before we used to, any problem that came in, okay, if a deal I'm trying to close is not closing or falls apart, all of a sudden I lost $300,000 in that deal as a commission or things like that, it would bother me for days. Remember, I was emotional roller coaster in terms of when you make a lot of money or when you succeed something. I was like always yeah, that adrenaline rush, and then pumping up, and then the next day falls apart. Oh my God! No, for days on days, I was into my mind and thinking negativity about it, and constantly thinking about problems, right? So, but one thing this has taught me and you is, first of all, we try to shut our minds, right, through negativity, because it comes at us, whatever that is. We switch, or our reaction time becomes lower and lower and lower and lower. So things like somebody cut you on the driving, in the highway. But right now, I just laugh. I don't
Me
get
too.
I don't get even bothered anymore, or something. I just laugh. Oh, okay, he's in a rush. That's okay. But he used to bother us a lot, and that's majority of people, unfortunately, are like that, right?
Yeah.
Things bother them. So me and you, we came to this understanding that having a spiritual mindset, it's a tool. It's a tool for me and you to control the outcome and measurements of our mind and our feelings, and how do we want it for us to react to things, and how do we want to manifest things. Okay?
Exactly. Yeah. So it has made us, one thing that it does for you is to make you neutral as a person. So when you're neutral, your up and down is not so high and not so low. So it happens, and you bring yourself back to that level. And the thing that helps, and the belief that we have, is faith. Faith that no matter what, there's a higher power that has your best intention. And when you make a lot of money and you have a lot of success in your business, for example, deals happen, is temporary. And also when deals break and you go so low, that's also temporary. It's a buffet. We come to this life and we get to choose what to pick from the buffet. It's all choice that we have.
So, babe, I know there's a lot to cover. We haven't even scratched the surface into spirituality and some actual practices in life that me and you, we do, because I really, truly want to give real life practices to people. And we didn't talk about how we actually manifested the Prime show on, Amazon Prime show, this Luxe Listings Toronto, how we actually manifested this out of thin air by the practices that we put in place 5 years ago. And we didn't talk about that. That's going to be another episode, but I wanted to fire up a few questions right now. Give me some nice, quick, short answers for the audience. Okay. Let's take you back to, younger self. What advice would you, Paige, today will have for Paige younger self when you were 19, 20, 21, when you were just starting to have your life and wanted to, get your life started? What advice would you have for younger generation and younger self, Paige?
Not to waste your time to worry over things that you don't have control over. When I go back, I wish I had this knowledge and not to worry about all the little things that I didn't have control over, and change it with faith. Faith that even though there's good lessons in the hardship, and life is about experiencing and evolving. Yeah.
Okay.
Worry
Awesome.
is a very low vibration.
I agree with that. What's the next question? What is your definition of success, sweetheart?
Again, live your life having faith and enjoy. Experience every second, every moment of life, enjoying and being happy from inside.
Okay. All right. Do you have any thoughts you want to share with anybody? The last thoughts that you want people to know? Something they need to practice? Any mantra you want to share? What is your mantra that you constantly tell yourself?
The first mantra always comes to both our heads. We started is, things are always working out for me.
Things are always working out for me. That's right. That's right. That's the epitome of having faith of there is source always backing you up in everything in life that you want and desire. The answer of the universe is yes, right? It's never no. It's always yes. So if you come from lack, if you come from not having something, the answer is yes. Because that's what you're thinking, that's what you're going to attract.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's beautiful, baby. That's beautiful. Do we want to do a part 2 and really dig into how we manifested the show, how we manifested the agency? Do we really want to get in for a part 2 session and
I would love to
give some of these information to people?
I would love to share that because law of attraction is real.
We didn't talk about law of attraction,
manifestation is
money,
real.
all of that
Yes.
stuff. Yeah.
So we can talk about all of those.
Yeah. So these topics are the humongous topics. Manifested money. How do I manifest more money? Everybody wants that, right? Law of attraction. How do you use that to your advantage? Relationship, love. How do I find out all of that? And the biggest thing that me and you, we know, and I want everybody else to know, is anything in life you want to have is because you want to have it because you think by obtaining it, you're going to become happier. But the key is to be happy and joyful before having it. Be happy and joyful now, and the rest will fall in place.
Yes,
am I right?
Exactly.
Okay, but those are the practices we're going to do on episode number 2, coming soon, hopefully.
You're going to invite me back here again?
Absolutely,
I'm going to be invited again.
You own everything. So all good.
Okay.
Love you, baby.
Thank
you for sharing your wisdom. Where can they find you on what socials they can find you?
Oh, people can follow me on Instagram, Paige _Torkan.
That's where you're active?
Yeah.
Are you putting any daily, are you sharing wisdoms daily at all?
Anybody uses their platform for one reason. My main reason is I don't want to say the wisdom that I have, share my path. and share the tools that I use on a daily basis to have a more peaceful, joyful life.
I believe you have a lot of wisdom to offer, love, because I watch those videos you
Oh,
make,
thank you.
and the people that listen to it, I know that everybody's love it, and the wisdom you share keeps everybody check in daily routine, and I think everybody should follow you and just listen to you what you have to say on your social media, because you share a lot of love, peace, happiness,
Thank
and you bring
you.
just joy into everybody's life that's surrounding you.
Thank you.
And I'm so proud of you. Love you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.